Good day. My name is Abdulkabir. I will be discussing array today. In the next couple of videos, I'll be discussing array. Array is very important in the life cycle of software development because we'll be using array throughout the entire journey of software development. There is no developer that is not presently using array, because when you are dealing with data, you'll be iterating through several data types and the rest. So you have to be working with array. So there are some concepts that we use to boost our brains, the likes of switch statements that we may later drop if your development is not going in that line. But array, there's no way you are going to drop array. That's the reason why we must stress on it, at least for the rest of the month. You have to work in on array. The dream of every developer is to actually be developing something real. So this is what is taking us to something that is very very real. So array, you look at if you look at this software, this database we use while we were training, all these ones, they are at the end of the day represented with array, because these are, when sometimes when you want to print admission letter for all these people, or you want to print a particular letter that are going to print out, dear Abdulkabir Akinlabi here, you are in JSS2 and the department, your address is this and you are a male, you understand. For each of all these things, I tracing through each of their name. Like Ali Abdulgani is in JSS1, you are in Afikpo, this thing, you understand. You must have to work with array if you want to achieve a kind of letter that is going to look through all this data and print those data based on the information of each person, you understand. So you have to work with array. So now let's go straight to the point. How do you declare an array? Number one, the way array works, let me tell you how array works. This is normal variable and array. You have one of the ways of declaring an array is you declare the index of the array, maybe for probably index 0, because array starts with 0, equals to, for example, you have first is equals to Abdulkabir, for example. You understand. This one, I'm declaring those array one by one, or you can even say first. You understand. Array first index 0, index 1 equals to Ali. You get. So all these ones, you are declaring this same variable 2, index 2 equals to maybe probably Alex. You understand. And you now decide to jump first the index of maybe 4. You have jump 3, so equals to let me call it bright. So now if you are, all these ones, they are array. You can see I'm using the same variable and I'm attaching different locations to them. You can decide that, okay, you can decide to echo variable first. So let me check this. So okay, array, it shows that those things are array. Now let me index array at index number 2. Sorry, array index number 2. All these ones are just you can see Alex. The reason why it gave that error is because we jumped certain this thing like index number 5 and number 3, index number 4. So actually this one is just a play around what array is. But in real sense, if you want to declare an array, you can decide to declare, maybe let us call it animals. So equals to this variable equals to array. If you want to store various data directly, equals to array, you use the function array. And this function, this thing is a function. So you now open brackets. Remember, when you declare any function, is inside brackets. Maybe the first person, Abdulkabir, index 1. Array, I told you array starts with index 0. This is index 0. So another person, we have Alex, another pointer, maybe another index, we have Ali, so and so on. So if I want to access this is array animal index 0, animal index 1, animal index 2. So that's how array starts. The length of an array starts from 0. So if you want to access this the entire array, there are ways of you can echo the entire array by using maybe variable dump, one of the ways of accessing the entire array. Variable dump function, what is that thing you are accessing? Animals, you understand? So this variable dump is just to list all the I think I have syntax error here. So variable dump, variable underscore dump animals. Okay, this is the error. I did not terminate it here, so you should remember that. So now it says undefined variable var dump. You can use maybe print r. I'm very sure there's something print r animal. Okay, I think what is actually happening here is because of the nature of the array. Don't let me get you confused. So echo animals, I think index number 1. Now what is going to be printed out here is index number 1 is Alex. It should print Alex, yes. So index number 2 is Ali. Yes, Ali. Index number 2, Ali. It should print Ali. So now that is not where we are going. Just know that when you want to declare an array, the variable equals to, then you now give it an array function. Supply all your arrays there. So all this kind of array are called index array, because we have two types of array. We have index array and associative arrays. Associative array are the kind of ones that use keys. You know, this one we are accessing it through these index numbers. So that is one. Then the other one, when you want to, I'm still having this thing. If I think I should be able to use var dump animals. I'm still skeptical on why. Okay, I think that the other time I did not put I was using maybe probably animals. So var underscore dump, or I misspelled this var underscore dump. So when you want to print an entire array, you can see I want to explain what index array is. It shows that this array is we have 3 elements array. You understand? The length of the array is 3. You know, the one index 0 is a string, which is Abdulkabir. Index 1 is also a string having 4 letters, which is Alex. Then index 2 is string, which is having Ali. So this one is known as index array. Now, please, this array is very, very important. That's the reason why I was saying that we are going to use several videos, but before this month end, we should be able to be through with array. So now another kind of array we have is known as, let me do another example so that you understand. Let's take, for instance, we declare an array known as departments. You understand? How do you declare an array? Equals to array. You understand? Maybe we have IT departments, we have civil departments, we have any amount of departments you want to have. Maybe we also have the mech departments, we also have the admin departments, you understand, and so on. So when you want to access the elements of this array, you just mention the departments with their index number. This one I told you, it starts from 0. So when you want to print anything, let's take for instance the echo this string. The first departments is, you understand, you concatenate it with that array. You can say departments index number 0. You know, is going to give you this. You understand? So this, at this time around, is just you have to just know the first department is IT. So we are still going to get to a way whereby you are going to loop through the entire array. So we are getting there. Please, let's just be following. So another thing we want to discuss here is when we are dealing, now let me tell you something. These things are the values of the array. but the value of this one is, the address of this one is index number 0, value IT. This one is index number 1, value civil. Index number 2, value mech. Index number 3, value value admin. The value that is inside is the content of the array, but the index is the number. That is index array. But associative array, you are using associative array, you are going to be referencing associative array via a key. There is something known as a key. So that is when you are using associative array, we have a key. Let's take for instance, for example, let me use something. Let me declare a variable. The variable, let me call it tree, or persons, or students. Let me use students. Students. So equals to, don't forget how to declare an array. Array like this. So you are now going to be specifying the key. For example, I don't know the key I'm going to use. Let me use based on your area of specialization. Maybe for example, I want to use someone who is very good in chemistry. Chemistry is a key here. So how do you access it? You write it like this. Equals to and point. The meaning of this equals to dot is not normal equals to. It's just like you want to draw an arrow. Is a way of doing dots. Those people who are specializing in JavaScript, there's a way you access an element of something using dot notation. But this in PHP, you just do it like this, pointing to. You understand? It's just a key. It's not the normal equals to or greater than. No, that's not the meaning of here. We are trying to draw something that is pointing. It's just unfortunate I'm not using video now. I will have used my hand to access it. So now, we have chemistry. The key chemistry is referring to who? Maybe Adisa Sikiru, because I know he's a chemistry man. That's the first array. This is the key to the array. This is the value of the array. You can call this one as the pointer to the array instead of using index. In index, you remember, go back to the video and check how we do index. So this one is the chemistry. The value is Sikiru. Let me use another person. Let me say, okay, Arabic. Key Arabic is going to be pointing to maybe Ahmad. Let me use Ahmad for that. So don't forget, we are still inside the array. You can decide to be very technical so that you won't be. Don't forget, this bracket is for this function. So I have another key. Maybe let me say physics. Physics should point to who? Let me assign Alex to physics. I don't know if Alex knows physics. So the pointer can be anything. You can decide to use 3. All this pointer I've been using string to point. In PHP, you can decide to use you can see these are pointers. I can decide to use 3 as the pointer. So who is referring to 3, even though we don't have any this thing like 3. Let me use myself, Abdul Kabir. So now you can see this is our array with what? This is associative array. Let me do the comment so that associative array, because I know some of you used to watch the video, they jot some things down before they practice. So now, how do we now access the elements of that array? So when you say, okay, for example, when you say, okay, this normally when you say echo students, no, the variable students, which is let me first of all echo the entire students. You see how that one is going to be. Echo students. You understand? So that we see define variable student. Okay, I don't spell it very well. You can see that's the issue we used to have in yes, students. So an array to string conversion, it's actually an array. So now if you want to print an array, you don't just echo it like that. You can say variable underscore dump, you understand, to print that particular array. or you can say print r. That one also is a function that you can use to print an array. You can use var underscore dump. You can also use now look at this. We have array. The array has 4 elements. You understand? Or the content of the array are 4. The first key is chemistry, which is referring to it has 12 string. It's like this is the first. The second one, like this, you can see that it's using a key to access all those elements. So if I want to print any part of this thing, you can say echo, you understand, students, you understand, then provide the key, maybe chemistry, you understand. So when you echo this one, it's going to give you the name of the person inside that particular key. All these key are now representing the index. You understand? You can, if you print, let me do something. Let me now assign, let me say, okay, align, or students in array. Let me first of all echo it so that you know. Echo variable students. This index, when you index number 1, normally should give you undefined. I don't know the reason why I misspelled all this in students. Okay, offset is not. I actually want. I've forgotten that I'm not using index array. Students chemistry. You understand? Chemistry this time around is it should give you chemistry. Yeah, sorry. I'm just chemistry. Let me confirm I spelled it very well. Okay. So you can see at the Sasikiru. Now you can change the elements. You cannot decide that okay, students variable students at index chemistry equals to, you understand, you can give it another value. This before at the Sasikiru is for chemistry. You can decide that okay, I want to put it Abibullah Qasim. You understand? So at this time around, I want us to understand array very well, because we'll be using it. In fact, we are still going to multi-dimensional array so that we'll get it very well. Initially, key chemistry, this is a key. You understand? The key at the end of the day will be serving for all this name of column names. So that's the reason why we need to learn it from here. This key chemistry, initially it was for Adisasikiru, but I've changed the value. Now let me now print the entire array. Print R. That's another way of printing an array. Print R students. I want to make sure I spell it very well, because I don't know, maybe because I'm rushing. So this is another function you can use to print an array. You can use variable underscore dump. You can also use this. So now, so you can see now this chemistry is now the key. Chemistry is now having the value of Qasim. You get, is now having the value of Qasim. So that is array for you. So it's now having the value Qasim. If you want to change the value of that of Arabic, you can decide to, okay, after that students key Arabic equals to Benga Oluwatobi. This time around, let us print now. Look at Sikiru. We have Adisa. Okay, I think I'm printing multiple something here. Okay, let me comment this out. Okay, we have an array. Chemistry is it was initially Abibula, Arabic is Ahmad, but we now change it and Arabic is now Benga Oluwatobi. See, all these things are very they are very important, and we have a long way to go when it comes to array, but we are finishing it this month. So we have to be you have to follow and be getting the basics. Now, let us say that okay, for now we have different array and we want to loop through an array. This is another important concept. You know, we have different functions. When we want to get the elements of an array, you want to get several things. But what is most important is how do you loop through the elements of an array? Let's take for example, I declare an array. Let me declare another array. I declare it as okay, I call it gadgets. You understand? How do you declare an array? Gadget is equals to array. Use array function. You see, if I don't get this now, I won't know. Array function, we have different kinds of array. Maybe we call it gadgets. We have monitor. Are you getting a monitor? We have keyboard. We have maybe laptop. We have what other gadgets? Let me use mouse. Now, this is an index array. You know, this index number 0, this index number 1, number 2, number 3, and you want to loop through this array. Now, how do you loop? Looping through array is very important, because in there are several situations whereby you have different students and you want to access them. Let me show you an important this thing so that you can get it. But before I show you, let me finish with this so that you know what you are expecting in the future. That will help you. Now, you see these gadgets. Remember, I put S. I just, not that I cannot name any variable anyhow I want. So you now use for each looping. For each, this is a keyword or a function. For each gadget, you know, we have done this before. For each gadget as gadgets, you understand? I declare a variable. For each of these gadgets, we call it gadgets without S. You can decide to call it I. You understand? So that it can work very well. For each of all these things as I, you know, immediately you do this thing, it has allocated I to each of all these things. But you are not saying I is equals to monitor, nor I is equals to keyboard, nor I is equals to laptop, nor I is equals to. You just say each of them. So what will now happen? Echo I. Echo I. You understand? When you echo I can also concatenate it with a break tag so that it can list them. So now, with this one, what we are treating now is looping through an array. You know, when you want to loop through index array, these are index array. I like to repeat all these things. Index array. Now you can see monitor, keyboard, laptop, mouse. This one is we are looping through an indexed array. So now let me check time so that I can stop the video and record another one. So let me show you a project. I think I have done that with SoWrite. Okay. Localhost SoWrite. Now look at this my interests. All these things is trying to show me, okay, these are the interests, these are the ones I've paid for, and these are the, if I want to remove from my interest. You know, the way the software works is that when you get into the platform sowrite.com, you choose what you want to invest in. Let's take for instance I want to invest in furniture. Maybe 2 slots, and each of the slots is 500 naira. So that means that my slot is going to be 1,000. I will add it to interest. Maybe I have interest in this, so it's going to say, okay, this thing has been added to interest, and it will take me to my interest page, which is, you can see this furniture, I just added it now. then I can pay for it. When you click on pay, it will take you to pay stack and on the other information. That's not where I'm going, but I just want to show you now. If I pay for this thing now, anyone that is paid for, you understand, if this thing is paid for, it will add it to my investment. You understand, my investments. So all these ones are the ones that I've paid for. Now, how is this thing looping? How is this thing bringing? This is not the first time we are dealing with tables. I think we've treated tables in HTML. But how is this thing fetching data from the database and representing it here? It is array. You understand? We use for each statement of the array. Now let me show you the code. I think this one is members portal page underscore my investment. We are getting to this form. I just want you to get ahead, preparation ahead. We have page my investments. I think I hope I can locate it quickly. Members portal page my investments. Now, so that I can see it very well. You can see normally this is a table row. Now I selected all my investment and the rest. You can see this query select ID from this one, which we've done. So the result that is bringing out, I've turned it to an array here. So all these things, or everything that is working from here to this place, they are array. Because the row, I said for row, MySQL fetch array results. You can see that the result that is coming out, I've turned it to an array. With one a function that we'll be talking about is known as MySQLi underscore fetch array. Because this result here is an array. You see this array here? I'm not telling you to write this code. I'm just trying to let you know that array is very important. Now, you can see this query is what this query normally when you select ID, select investment name, select investment type, select investment slot, select status from my interest, where username is equals to, you understand, you've done those ones, SQL. Now, the result of this statement is going to be stored inside this result. What is the relationship between this query and this result? The relationship is that the result, I declare a variable, say MySQL underscore query, the connection I used to connect, and this query. So now everything that is coming from this query will be stored inside this result as an array. So that's what I'm trying to bring out. So you see this MySQL fetch array, it will now fetch the result as an array. So you see all this, I now declared a variable that took a row for this row here. This variable row is like me doing same thing as what I'm doing here as for each gadget as this. So don't just be panic. We are getting there. So but if you don't get the source, the basics from here, by the time we get there, I will have to be explaining with it's kind of time that I that is not needed. So what we've been able to achieve in this video is that we have two types of array. We have index array and associative array. You understand? If you want to give all these ones, if you want to give them key, for example, you can decide to, if you want to turn this index array to what's it called, to associative array, you have to be giving them key. You can decide to be giving them 1, say 1 points to gadgets, yes, 2 points to this, 3 should point to this, and 4 should point to this. So when you now print when you now want to loop through I'm not looping, so I just want to revise what we've done. Okay, if you want to print value of, you want to print keyboard, that means you are going to say echo what, gadgets, and the key is 3, or is it keyboard key is 2. So yes, now so keyboard. So you see, what is very important now is, ask yourself, do you know the difference between index array and associative array? The reason why I will not leave this video without you answering those questions is because By the time I move further, iterating through looping through different arrays and doing some certain real life applications in the next video, because I wouldn't want a situation whereby you'll be confused. You see, this is what associative array that you are going to be referencing through the key. This is another key you use to reference keyboard. This is another key use. This key can be in any data type. You can decide to say, okay, 3.0 is monitor, 2 points. You understand? So it's not necessary that say, okay, everything. I can decide to bring this one. Okay, let's say let us call it key. You understand? The key I'm using to reference this keyboard is known as key. What I'm using to reference monitor is 3.0. So if I should echo gadgets 3.0, it should give me monitor. You understand? 3.0, 3.0, 3.0. I'm coming. I want to know the reason why it's okay. I have different 3 there. So let me call this one 4.0. Okay, mouse. Oh, I have another 4. Let me use the key. Now, if I want to print this one, it should give me keyboard. So you can use any data type to access elements of an array. Are you getting it? So, and if I want to change the value of another, this is the form of revision. If I want to change the value of this key number 3, I can decide to say equals to initially it was laptop. Initially it was here. I can decide to give it PC. Are you getting it? Now echo. No, this one I'm not echoing. Now echo it now. When I've assigned echo gadgets with key what? 3. Echo gadget key 3. So it's going to give you PC. Let me expand it for the purpose of those. So that is it. So we are still our array can cut across 2 to 3 videos, but today is 28th, so we'll finish it before the month end. Either the 2 videos, the 3 videos, or 4. You know that we should supposed to finish array before month end. So thank you very much for viewing. I remain Abdul Kabir.